Yes, guys and girls, how you all doing? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Just want to say thank you for the support in the last two videos, and this will be the final roundup for the top 5 players in the budget for the series that I've done. So for the top 5 forwards, I've gone for a budget of 8.5 million. So at number 5, this is my wild card, and it is down to if he moves. It's Ryan Brewster. So he's been linked to teams like Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, literally just most of the majority of the bottom half teams, like even Tottenham. So if he gets the move and gets more game time, I think he will score goals. And at £4.5 million, if he is a striker that's playing regularly and has an opportunity to pick up points, it's the best value you can get. Last season, he scored 11 goals for Swansea. So yeah, he's young, but he is showing that he can score goals. So it might be a risk that I would take if he gets that move. For now, I'm not going to have him in the team. But if he does transfer to a bottom half team and he gets game time, then yeah, I'll have him in. Right, next up, number 4. I've put Richarlison down near number 4 just because of that value of 8 million. So in the last 2 seasons, he's scored 13 goals in each, which isn't bad. But when you look at that, at £8 million, there's players who have been cheaper than him who have scored that sort of goals as well, which is why he's at 4th place. The reason why I've put him in the top 5 list is because he might even get more goals this season. Everton are looking at signing James Rodriguez, Allen. They've already got some good players. The defence with Digne and Mina, that's not bad. They've got some good attackers as well. Depends where Richarlison plays, if Calvert-Lewin plays as well. I don't know what formation they're going to set up really, if they bring in James and Allen, and if they're looking at Decore. I don't know if they revert back to a 4-3-3. But yeah, it could be a positive season for Everton, which is why Richarlison is on the list, but he's not higher just because we don't know how they are actually going to set up. So at number 3, I'm going to include Alex Mitrovic because he's £6 million. It is quite cheap for a striker. And he is a goal scorer. Last season in the Championship, he got 26 goals. He's had chances in the Premier League before with Fulham and Newcastle. He scored 10 plus goals a season with them. When you compare that to the value of Richarlison, you're saving yourself £2 million, and you probably will get the same amount of points returned. So it's really just a hit and miss if Mitrovic will actually do well or not. I think I'm going to keep an eye on him. Just see how he's getting on. If he starts to score a few goals like Timo Werner done, then most people might stop putting him in. But then obviously we knew that Pookie actually started to go like dry with the goals. So you don't want to just follow the crowd and start putting players in and then they stop scoring. So I'll keep an eye on him and we'll see how he goes. Number 2, Raul Jiminez. I think it is good value because he is a top quality striker. He is literally like linked to Juventus, Man United, Real Madrid. He scored 17 goals last season, got 6 assists. They're a team who have fought for European spots in the last 2 seasons. This season they're not in the Europa League, which might help them this season. It might help them focus on the Premier League again. So yeah, I think he'll score goals again this season. I don't see why it's going to stop. So yeah, he's one that's possibly going to go into my team. We'll just see how they get on, because a lot of people are saying that the team might be really tired coming into this season because they played so much football last season. They've lost Johnny to injury. They've sold Matt Doherty to Spurs without a replacement properly lined up. So, they're a little bit questionable right now going into the season because they've lost both fullbacks. Adama's being linked away. yeah, but I do think out of all the players at Jiminez's value, he is still a good option. Right, and then number one, Danny Ings. I think he will have another good season this year. He scored 22 goals last season. That's joint second with Aubameyang. Uh, I think the opening 12 fixtures are quite nice to Southampton. I think they only play Man United in that 12. Um, and yeah, I think so. He's going to get an early goal return, and then maybe he'll go dry for a little bit. But you can always just transfer him out. We'll just see how he's getting on. But I'm going to take the risk, and I think a lot of people are taking the risk in putting him in. For Southampton, they're a team who are looking at mid-table, so for the amount of people transferring Danny Ings in, it's a bit risky, but I think you've got to try and find your differentials really, and a lot of people are staying away this season from Harry Kane, Vardy, Aguero, your premium top three strikers for value, and people are looking at your cheaper options like Jiminez, Ings, Werner, Martial as well. Um, but yeah, I think 8.5 million was a good cut-off budget for this video because there are actually still quite a few strikers above 8.5 million, which is crazy because for Danny Ings being second joint top goal scorer last season at this value, I think is going to be a very worthwhile pickup. So yeah, that's all for this episode, and we've now concluded the top five series. So next up, I think I'll be having my what have I got? The Premier League predictions, Premier League table predictions, and every club's key player. So that'll be out on Tuesday, pretty much just before the season starts, and then on Friday, the 11th, will be my final FPL team before the season starts. So it's going to be a busy week. I expect that I'll be literally making transfers in my team right up until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just because transfers are going to happen all the time. We've got a late transfer window, so yeah, I'll probably be wanting to make changes after the season started, which is where the wild card will have to come in. But yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. If you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and peace.